it's just like the government's fucking the economy so bad. Sorry if I'm swearing. I'm just like so and so the creator economy and with AI coming in now as well, like AI is such a great tool, to aid your creative process. However, like I don't want it taking over the creative process. And sorry if I'm going on a rant here, but my biggest gripe with AI is everyone's like, it's moving really fast. And I get it. Obviously it is. But at what point, right? Like everyone uses AI to write everything now, but AI takes everything that's written on the internet to learn what to write. So at what point are we going to get to a spot where nothing on the internet is written by a human anymore and it's all AI?
All right, welcome everybody back to the Full Battery Media Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Trace, and I have an awesome guest with me today. They can tell people who you are and a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Alex Drachnik. Thanks for having me today. And I am a comedy content creator, a social media business owner, and yeah, I've been making content since I was 13. I'm 33 now, and it's completely changed my life.
That's awesome. How did you get started? I love this because people all start somewhere and there's an anchor. You know how I got started making video? I'll tell you. First of all, I got to work in Hollywood a long time ago, and I was a background actor on a Ron Howard movie, which is literally the most unglamorous thing you can do in Hollywood is to be a background actor. But it was so much fun. I got to stand there and watch these people work all day. And then suddenly I made friends with people and they kept me on set. They're like, hey, do you want to be a stand-in? You just stand there when the lights are getting done. I was like, dude, I'd love to do anything to be on this movie. And I got to stay and watch the movie being made for 6 months. But then after that, I kind of got behind the camera and I was working in a hair salon in Hollywood.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, let's make some hair videos. And so I started making hair videos. And it was early on in YouTube. I'm that old. And, it was fun. But it's like people all start somewhere. How did you get started? And what's your origin story?
Okay, so I got started when I was like 13. I wasn't even making anything yet. I was in, where was I? Sorry, my brain is blanking. Let me just...
No problem. That's every day for me.
I know.
I had my Barrels and Roots podcast last night, and let's just say we had some wine during the podcast.
Yeah.
So this morning, I'm like,
Okay, so I was, whatever was before high school. For some reason, I cannot think about what was
middle
before high
school.
Thank you. Oh my God, my brain. Okay, so I was 13. They were, middle school was like, cool, here's a group project you need to do, make a music video or something. I forget why. And I was like, wait, my parents have cameras lying around the house because my dad does like photography and videography as a hobby. So I pick up this camera, we shoot this music video and I was like, whoa, this is so fun. I love this. And then I was like, wait, how do I edit? And my friend had told me about iMovie at the time. And the moment I started working on iMovie, I was like, whoa, wait, this is like a thing people can do. And I was honestly hooked from then. Like started a YouTube channel, was doing comedy videos there, went to film school, Like it literally just from that one little scenario, it trickled. And I remember we made the music video to a secondhand serenade song. That's what I remember. I don't know where the video is anymore, but I remember it.
I love that. It's awesome too. Like when you bring up iMovie, I'm like, oh, the memories, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the cool part. It's like, one of the things too is like, you don't have to have the fanciest tools to make awesome stuff. And especially now, there's so much that you can do that's so cheap and so easy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, you can shoot something that goes super viral, makes you millions and millions of dollars on an iPhone.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's so true. I wanted to ask you a question though, because like you built 4 million followers as a comedy character called Sasha the Russian, but at some point you had to drop the mask and show up as yourself. What was the scariest part of that shift?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of in this weird shift right now. So if my energy is kind of low for this podcast, I'm just kind of like, it's a really hard time to be a creator right now. Unless you're doing like TikTok shop and all these things. So I played this character, Sasha, whatever, but I also, on my Instagram, my Instagram has been my like longest platform. So I do like post other things outside of just being my Russian character. But I will say it is tough because
Yeah.
there's no rule book and there's no playbook to follow. You're kind of just inventing whatever comes to your mind about what you want to do. But when it comes to branding, right? It's like the most successful creators kind of stick to I don't want to say a niche, but they stick to a thing, right? Like if I was playing this Russian character, I'd just do this Russian character, but forgetting that I'm also a human who wants to share other things. So I don't really have a concrete answer for you right now because I'm kind of figuring it out. There's just a lot of it's a weird year to be a creator. I will say that. Unless you're like the OG creators, like when we all started on TikTok back in the day, um, it was so much easier to just blow up and make videos. But now it's everyone is doing TikTok shop and doing some sort of thing that is actually making you money. So it's I'm kind of going towards the TikTok shop world a lot now. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
but does that mean I'm sacrificing my character, or is my character going to do that? So it's confusing. So
Yeah. Right.
that's where I'm kind of at right now.
One of the things too I think of is that with content, I think, and that's a great point, it's pivot city. Like, I think that one of the things that if you want to stay active in this game, the only thing that I think is a constant is your ability to pivot. Because, you know,
Mhm.
man, I've seen so many iterations. Like when I first got into this with building my own brands, my wife and I were doing the Casey Neistat style vlogs. That was
Mm.
the thing, and we were out there like, this is a day in our life, but it wasn't a day in our life. It was this
Did you just
storytelling.
call it a vlog, by the way?
I did,
Not a
right? I
vlog,
did,
a vlog.
right? I did. God, I'm old. Fuck me. But that's the wild thing. We were right, GIF or GIF, Jesus.
Yeah, right.
Uh, but when we were doing it, and everything's changed, and then TikTok came along. I remember when TikTok came along, and people were asking me, "Should I put my time into this?" And I was like, I couldn't figure TikTok out for the longest time. I was really
Mm.
trying to figure out short form, how to lean in on that. And then every time the algorithm changes too, it's really, I'll tell you this, I've known so many creators that when the algorithm starts shifting, they're just like, what I was doing is now not working. And it's really confusing at times for people, because how do you keep up with the constant shifting trends and keep yourself from going nuts,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to counter that because it's not
Good
necessarily the
job.
algorithm. It's more so what people are interested in, right? Like back when
True,
TikTok
so
first
true.
started, it was a lot of lip syncing and dances. And then, everyone started to do it. So it became so oversaturated, and then people want more different types of content. So I wouldn't blame the algorithm as much. I would blame more on people's wants and needs and desires and what they want to see. It's supply and demand, right? People don't want dance videos anymore. So I think the people that do blame the algorithm are the ones that ultimately fail on the internet because they're finding something to blame instead of pivoting, as you said.
That's it. And I think that's it. And
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm going to push back a tiny bit though as
Yeah,
well.
do it. I
I,
like
I 100%
Mhm.
agree on your point though. At the end of the day, you have to pivot if you want to succeed. But I did see that, especially with my daughter's channel, when it was more for YouTube, less for TikTok. TikTok, we've been able to be consistent with it. But when YouTube rolled out their shorts, we
Mm.
were getting insane numbers on a certain format, right? But then we kept doing that format and it crashed. And I'm like, well, was that us? Was that YouTube shifting? And at that time, all I know is that at that time, people were like, oh, the algorithm changed. How the fuck do I know if it changed or not? I don't even know if that's true. But what I do know
Yeah.
is that the one thing I do know, because this is like the little bit of stoicism of content creation, even if it changes, that's outside your control. What you can
Yeah.
control is your ability to adapt, to sit there, to research trends, to see what's doing well and what's not, and then to match that, because at the end of the day, man, you can cry, you can be, oh no, it's changing.
Mhm.
Or you can sit there and go, all right, it's changed. What can we do? Like,
Yeah.
an interesting case I found out last week. Um, and whether you like him or not, I was blown away by his YouTube channel because he's actually really growing right now. Mark Wahlberg, you know,
Mm.
who has gone through so many iterations of his career, went from Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch
Yeah.
into the movie star, and now he's embracing YouTube. So what he's doing, he's got this really interesting style on YouTube that is, he has these insane workouts, and he's getting Mr. Beast, I Show Speed, He just had was it Drewski? Drewski just came and it did Mark Wahlberg's workout. He's like, "Can you come and do my intense workout?" And he puts everyone through the same workout. That's absolutely insane. And I was just like, what a pivot. That's what you do. You don't complain. You sit there and figure out what's your niche and then run with it. And you
I feel
know,
like though
go
comparing to celebrities a bit different though compared to
right
like
though.
someone changing a brand because like a celebrity is already they can do whatever they want. Like Mark Wahlberg is the brand. So Mark Wahlberg could do whatever he wants. Like any pivot he does is like it's like on brand in a sense because he's the celebrity. He's an A-list tier person. So it's like, but I don't know. But no, that is a good point. It's just like I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. It's cool though that he's doing that. I think that's smart, and I think it's smart when celebrities do jump in on social media stuff because like it is where everything is now, and you don't want to be left in the
Hmm.
dust. But I
Right.
do think celebrities are in like a different tier of like pivots because they can do whatever they want. They're already a household name. Everyone knows. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's interesting too, because, like, I see, like, with the podcasting arena, people are like, oh, yeah, so this person just created a podcast and it blew up to 200 million views. And I was just like, oh my God, man. Like, yeah, they're also super famous already, And so it's kind of an unfair expectation for the
Yeah.
average person.
Okay, and going off that, I don't know if it was at the Grammys or the Oscars this year, but they had a podcast, section. I think it was at the Grammys. I don't remember. No, not the Grammys. It was the one of the award shows for movies or TV. They had a podcast award section, but every podcast that was nominated was basically a celebrity podcast. And I was thinking, like, I know this is the TVs and movies, but like, it felt wrong almost. It felt like so wrong that all the podcasts that were getting like nominated were like celebrity podcasts. I think like Amy Poehler's was on there and Jason Bateman's or something like that. Anyway, it's almost like, okay, well then what are the rest of us doing with our podcast? I don't know. Not saying like the award is the end goal, but it was just like such an interesting award that they were doing.
Right. It's like those groups. Have you ever seen the like when people have their own club and then they start giving away awards to club members and you're like, is that even really fair? Like, is it fair? That you're giving
Yeah.
away the participation prize for our team. Yay. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's fair. I do see, like, especially with my clients, though, and that's one of the things too, is I think that you have to have an expectation shift. You can have an impact and drive your business and create leads without having to have 10 million subs, without having to have this stuff. So I
Yeah.
still think there's a place for people to find their voice though. And I wanted to talk because you had a post where you talked about hiding the real me for too long. Talk to me about that because that's something that I think is really interesting with people sharing their real selves.
What post was that? When did I post it?
Oh, jeez. I don't know. It was a while ago that I was doing my research. Maybe a month ago?
Yeah, I was like, was it a video I did?
I think so. It was within the last 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that was more so about, like, kinda what I've been going through right now is, like, figuring out, like, what is it that I wanna do? So, like, to give you an example, like, I come from the traditional TV and film world, like, did the YouTube thing, realized I wanted to make movies, I worked in TV and film, and then I blew up on TikTok at the same time that I was about to join the camera union in Hollywood. And then I had made a choice. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the social media thing because it's new and I don't have to climb the freaking corporate ladder of like unions and stuff. And so I did the social media thing and it's been great and it was great. And I mean, it still is okay. But this year's been really tough because like I'm just gonna be real with you here. I blew up on the internet, right, as this Russian character. And I was back in the day, we cared about was like how many followers and how many views can we get on our videos, right? Like I hit 1 million followers in 1 month on TikTok. It was crazy. It was so cool. It was such a crazy moment in my life. And every video was getting millions and millions and millions of views. And then now, I started my own social media agency, right? Thinking that's what
Mhm.
I wanted to do. And like I do like to do it, but as of late, I've been getting really just like shot down a lot myself just because not from clients, but it's like I'm only creating for other people now, and I'm not creating for myself. And the whole reason I did what I did is because I liked creating for myself. So now I've kind of gotten myself into this hole where I'm like struggling to even carve out like 30 minutes to create for myself. And it's really wearing on my mental health and like terribly. And so I'm like, so what is it that I actually want to do? Because I like to help people. But if helping people is taking up all my time and I can't even help myself anymore, then like, what is the point of it? Right. So it's an interesting year for creators because I'm not the only one who's kind of like views. Nobody gives a fuck about views and followers anymore. They really don't. They matter about more about your community and your engagement. And like that's why TikTok Shop is so popular because it's like brands now have creators to make videos for them for free and then they get commission off of the sales. So why would anyone want to create other content? Obviously we create content to entertain, but like if I'm not the platforms don't pay like they used to, right? Like Instagram doesn't give you bonuses anymore. Facebook has a pretty good one. Snapchat, you have to reach their program. YouTube's okay. Like, but at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know. It's just tough. Like it's been a tough year. It's only April, but it's been a tough last couple of years, you know, with the way the world is going. You moved out of the country. I'm still stuck in this country where the
I
pol-
moved out like 20 years, like 15 years ago though. So
oh yeah.
it's been
You're
wild,
lucky.
man.
It's just like the government's fucking the economy so bad. Sorry if I'm swearing. I'm just like so and so the creator economy and with AI coming in now as well, like AI is such a great tool, you know, to
Yeah.
aid your creative process. However, like I don't want it taking over the creative process. And
Right.
sorry if I'm going on a rant here, but
No.
my biggest gripe with AI is everyone's like, it's moving really fast. And I get it. Obviously it is. But at what point, right? Like everyone uses AI to write everything now, but AI
Yeah.
takes everything that's written on the internet to learn what to write. So at what point
Right.
are we going to get to a spot where nothing on the internet is written by a human anymore and it's all AI?
Right. And I'm trying to
Ah,
be intentional about this. I mean, because my team, we use it as well. I think everyone does right now. But
yeah.
I try to tell people like for my own posts, the only thing I use AI for my posts on my like my LinkedIn and my stuff, I use it for a grammar check just because I'm atrocious and like help me with grammar and punctuation. But I have to go at it. I'm like, don't paraphrase, don't summarize, don't rewrite, use my words. And it's just like, all right, let's go to town. And I'm like, no, don't go to town. Just use like, don't do that. But one of the things too is like, I think, everyone was looking for the Jetsons type of let's get that robot assistant to help do the dishes. And like now it's in the creative space. But here's the thing, I see a big pushback amongst my clients about people like, and just from people like, I think that we're going to get, and there's already talks about the AI bubble bursting. I mean, because think about it, like
Mm,
people are generating cats doing kung fu. Dude, I don't want to see fucking cats doing kung fu. Like, honestly, I want to see like
real
this is
people.
my biggest gripe against, especially Facebook. Everything I see on Facebook now is AI generated content, like almost 98%. And
Yeah.
I lean more toward Instagram because I actually see my friends' photos. I see people, I see things that are still real. And I don't know about TikTok as much because, my TikTok is I just follow my wife and daughter. That's what I see all the time on their stuff. And so, but the reality is I think that people are getting tired of the spam. And I think that there's an opportunity for people to sit there and go, all right, how can we kind of lean in to like be more authentic in this time? I know it's so fucking cliche to say authentic, authentic,
I
authentic.
mean, it's true
But
though.
at this point in time, when people are, dude, like, I don't want to see another, like, cats doing kung fu. Maybe the first time it was interesting, but yeah, not really, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the uncanny valley and the creepiness of like, here's the thing, right? What makes so this is I do you mind going down this rabbit hole a little bit? Because like last
Yeah.
night
I
I was
like rabbit
talking about
holes.
this on my wine podcast. It was much easier to do once I'd had half a bottle of wine in me as well to go down this rabbit hole. But it was interesting because I have a winery podcast and it talked to winemakers. You know how much work goes into making wine? You have thousands of people out there in the fields, cutting these vines, harvesting this stuff. Then it goes in
Mhm.
and it's aging in these barrels. And there's still this awareness of like authenticity in that, right? But seriously, with the content, let's generate something really fast. You know why I don't think AI movies will become a thing? I'm certainly Hollywood will,
Fuck no.
try to cut margins and stuff, but like the fact that you have to show up, you have this group of people showing up, you have people who have to learn lines, you have authentic people trying to give that. I've seen like these AI generated like Bruce Lee fighting Jackie Chan. And it was just like, okay, certainly those are their moves, but like, how much more impressive to have the real fucking person there doing this shit, with all of the practice, all of the things. Like, I think people are misunderstanding the fact that what was impressive about Jackie Chan wasn't just the movements. It was the fact that that dude was doing his own stunts.
Right.
That was what was wild about it. Like when you see him sliding down the top of this building, he did that. It's
Yeah.
so crazy because he did it. It wasn't the move, it was that this person was doing that for real. Tom Cruise, he's a bit of a nut, but the fact that he's hanging off the side of a plane is impressive. I don't want to see some AI generating that. I want to see Tom hanging off the side of a plane. I'm there for that.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't obviously predict the future, but I think Hollywood's smart enough to not do AI only movies. I don't see that happening. Like they'll use AI in movies. I'm sure they already
Yeah.
are, but they're not gonna. It would just be so. It would just take away from everything if they did like an AI and a full AI generated movie that like won an Oscar, right? Because it's like the whole thing about movies and TV shows and celebrities is people like the celebrities. People like the press with the
Mhm.
celebrities. People are obsessed with them, so they like to see like,
Right.
oh my God, my favorite celebrity's on the red carpet and I'm watching E! News right now or something. Like that is part of why we love movies. It's like the press. And you can't really do that with like the AI stuff. I don't know. I've read somewhere that people think we're gonna go into an analog era where people are gonna be like so anti like we'll just kind of reset and go back to basics from AI. I don't know. Like again, it is a helpful tool. Like I will be honest, I use it a lot for like writing things fast, like just to like help me generate some stuff. But like when it comes to ideation, I think AI sucks at it. Like literally sucks
Agree.
because it cannot like me and my friends can come up with some insane fucking ideas, right? Like, and it's stuff that I'm like, dude, you wouldn't, no normal human or a fucking robot would be able to process how we came up with this. It just came up, right? And then my other, like, it's just like, I'll literally I'll generate AI. I'll prompt AI and Claude all the time. I'll have it like research stuff for me, and then
Horrible.
I'll be like, "Can you generate me ideas like this?" And it can't. It like gives me the most basic fucking thing, and I'm like, this isn't gonna work. And yeah, it's just I don't know. It's scary because I use it a lot. I will be honest. I still use AI a lot to help me write things fast, and I hate how much I use it sometimes because I'm like, I mean, I don't have it write me ideas, but it's never gonna be able to write ideas the way we want it to. I just don't think so. And okay, my biggest thing too, I hate when people are like, "Oh, just use AI to do this thing." And I go, "Do you not realize that when you use AI, you still have to prompt it. You still have to interact with it. You're not just like giving it a thing and then it goes and does it all for you. You have to interact with it and tell it what you want and prompt it. And guess what? Sometimes you doing those revisions and prompting it takes a lot longer than having to fucking do it yourself."
Right? That's what sit there and like with when people start going down this path and they go down this, I sit there and we use it in our workflows. And
Mhm.
I am just the amount of time that I spend going back and going, no, you dumb robot. And so I'm probably gonna be when the robots take over, I'm for sure in the first wave of getting taken out because I have not been polite to my AI overlord.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. I mean, I was mean. I'll be honest. I was really mean to chat. Like, chat pisses me off, dude. I chat GPT, like, but then I switched to Claude and I noticed I'm so much nicer to Claude. I actually never really yell at Claude. So there you go. Isn't that funny?
right? That's hilarious, man. Yeah, but ChatGPT pisses
Yeah,
me off so bad. I run in
I
circles.
know.
But with
Mhm,
you, like, as I want to talk to one other thing too, because like
mhm,
that dichotomy that you talk about, this is something that I bump up into all the time. The challenge of my own content versus the challenge of doing things for other people because it can feel
mhm.
exhausting at times. And I'm not going to lie, like my team, we get feedback. I was wanting to post something yesterday too, because my team, my team. So here's the crazy part. Like, I hired editors that all worked with me as a language school before I founded my business. I was like side hustling teaching English.
Nice.
One of my editors next year is moving to London to study politics and feminism studies and her master's degree at the SOAS School of Oriental and African Studies. Fucking amazing school. One of the smartest people I know. She's a rock star. And another person is a biochemist who's getting ready to go study in Germany next year for her doctorate. Another guy, two of these guys are like awesome musicians. But yet when we get feedback coming through, your editors, this editors, and it just is so, it's so belittling at times. The editors did this, and I'm just like, one of the things that like, I think people forget the energy that goes into stuff and that the people
Yeah.
behind it.
Yep.
And for me, I sit there and I go, like, whenever they work on a video for me, man, I treat everyone with like supreme respect, because I'm just like, I'm thankful that you're here. I'm thankful that this amazingly talented individual is working with me. And finding that balance between working with other people. And most of my clients, though, are absolutely awesome, because I filter incredibly, because I don't want, a-holes working with me. It's just like, I don't have the time of day for that. But it still can be challenging to do client content for other people. How do you find that balance, or is that something that you're figuring out right now?
Honestly, it's something I'm figuring out right now because I have no balance in my life. As I said, like, I'm in a
I feel
very weird spot right now where it's just like transition. It's like a weird transition moment where it's like I'm in a really low spot right now, and I'm just like figuring it out and talking to a lot of different people. But like, it's been really tough to do anything for myself that I want to do. And I don't like the fact that it's like, oh, well, you own a business. It's going to be a lot of hard work, and you're going to have to
that's
sacrifice a lot. And I'm like, you know, there's so many different paths in life. You know what I mean? Like, why do I have to
right.
like sacrifice everything I want to do for this thing that I don't even know if it's going to work or if it's what I want to do? And yeah, lately it's like, I'll be on client calls, and sometimes I'm just like, what if I was just really mean on this call and they fired me? Like, the intrusive thoughts have really just started to wander. I'm like, because I just, the whole reason I started a business so that I didn't have to work for someone else. But when you have clients, you're technically still working
You're
for
still
someone
working for someone
else.
else. 100%.
And it's almost like even worse in a sense, is because everything that your team does, it's your fault. It's not their fault, it's
Yeah.
your fault because you run the company. And I'm like fine with that. I'm like, it's my fault, whatever. But over the last couple months, it was like every day after I fix something, another thing would happen. And I'm just sitting there. I was like, is this ever going to end? And I was like, honestly, I don't like this. Like, is this why my hair is gray? Like, um, it's just, I went over to my friend's house, and he's like a big business guy, and he broke down. He's like, "Okay, what are all the things you do all day? And then what are all the things you do for yourself?" And when we wrote it down, he goes, "You do literally nothing for yourself." Like,
Yep.
like, I'm starting to really like, my personal life is starting to get affected by it. And so, yeah, I'm trying to figure it out right now. And my current solution is, well, I'm a big solution oriented person. Like, if I have a
I love
problem,
that.
I find a solution. I don't like to sit there and complain. However, there's a difference between complaining and venting to your friends, because you cannot bottle it up inside all day, because that's how bad things happen. You know what I mean? So I've been
Yeah.
venting and like letting it out to friends, like about what's going on, and just kind of like I do want to like, I'm really good at making content, but I've always made comedy content. I've never been
And
like an expert at I'm not a salesperson. I'm a creator, right? So like, but there are these tons of people on TikTok who are like nobodies. You could be anyone, who are making TikTok shop videos and making 50 to 60 grand a month from TikTok shop. And I'm just like, I could literally do that. And like, what, you know what I mean? So my first step here is, I love learning new things. So I hired
yeah.
this like coaching, this TikTok shop coaching, whatever. They're like the #1 TikTok shop coaches or whatever, to teach me how to do it, because I was like, I want to get so good at this that I'm an expert at it. And then when I become an expert at it, then I can offer it to people as like
That's awesome.
like, because the thing is like, I don't understand. I'm just going to say this out loud here. I don't understand why people are hiring people to do their organic content anymore. They really should be hiring people to do content that's actually going to like sell their products better. I get the organic. Obviously, this is
Yeah.
what we do. Like I'm literally like stabbing my own self in the back right now. But I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm like, organic is great. Obviously, you need it, but you really do need to know and have the creators that are if you have a product, you should hire people to help you with your TikTok shop. 1,000,000%. Like that should actually be like a first thought. I don't know. I digress. Lots of thinking over here.
I love that. And one of the things too that I'm thinking more and more um, is that, it goes back to that pivot, like you shifting into this other arena is something that to me is the smartest thing you can do, because it's like, I know it's unless you are super wealthy and you can just bankroll endless amounts of organic content, at some point in time, you got to be making money with this stuff. I mean, that's the goal. Thank you. You got to be making money or you're just spinning your wheels. So I love it, and I've been looking at TikTok Shop as well because, excuse me,
Bless
man,
you.
I never sneeze in podcast. It's the first time ever I've sneezed in a podcast. But,
I
like
am
it's interesting
allergic.
too, right? I got something in the air. But, I think that, if you're not looking at the new trends and you're not embracing the next step, then you're just, what was it? If you're not changing, you're dying at some point in time in the whole scheme of things. And if you really want to get ahead, you got to figure out ways to kind of adapt and survive, adapt and iterate.
Yeah, and a new program on TikTok that I also joined too is called TikTok Go. So instead of like TikTok Shop where it's products, TikTok Go is travel content, and basically you post a video. Let's say you went to like somewhere cool in Vietnam that's on this program. You post a video, whatever, and then you link the location to that place, and then you get commission if people book it off of TikTok. And the incentive is if you book it off TikTok, you get like a deal, right? It's like 10% off tickets or something like that. You can book hotels, activities, resorts, etc. And it's very new. It's only about a year old, but they're no one. I just heard about it literally like a week or two ago, and I've already joined. But they're ramping it up for summer. So like, my advice to a lot of people right now is to get on that because we're at the early stages. Like, I wish I got on TikTok Shop in the early stages because my gosh, I
Right.
mean it's still early, but like this is like TikTok Go is it's an infant right now, and so I got into this like program where they whitelisted my account. They're like make a brand new account, we'll whitelist you so that you could have 0 followers when you're in the program because usually you need like 1,000. And I already made my first sale after posting four days in a row. Like, because I live in Vegas and I live between Vegas and LA, but I live in one of the most perfect cities to do this travel thing because everyone comes to Vegas, they book hotels, they book like everything. You know what I mean? Like it's just like the perfect travel destination for your summer getaway, right? Like everyone goes to Vegas. And so I literally live in that city and you don't even need to like stay at the hotels. I just have to get B-roll of the hotels and then voiceovers or whatever I want to do. And so I'm like going hard in the paint on TikTok Go and then TikTok Shop right now because I'm like, you know what? Times are changing as the creators and I don't want to get left in the dust. And yeah, as you said, I would like to make some money because I was making money as a creator, but I'm not making like videos with like 10 million views every day anymore. And so I'm like, all right, shifting. And that's all you can do is just shift.
Yeah, 100%. It is all about shifting. And I think at the end of the day, it's a lesson for life as well. I think it would
Mhm.
be nice if things were always clean and clear, but it's not. And I think that the best thing that you could do is to be ready and aware that wherever it's shifting, you can either embrace that or not. Where can people go to find out more about you and what you're doing right now and about your company and what you offer?
Yeah, yeah. So, I was like, I know I've been talking down about a lot of things, but,
No.
but it's just
Okay.
being real, right? Like, you asked me about being authentic, and I'm just like sick and tired of having these like conversations where it's like, yes, everything's good. It's not. Everyone's having a hard year, but yeah. So you can find me at Drachnik, which is my last name, Drachnik, which is like my personal stuff. That's going to be like my personal slash Sasha. It's Alex Drachnik on every platform. My username is Drachnik on every platform. And then Drax Social is my social media video production agency. So that's where like we help brands come up with a social media strategy. We shoot like a real production. So like we'll set up shoot days, then we'll do the editing and then social media management. And We take very select few clients for that because we do want to focus on them and not have like a huge, like huge client list. And then I also do consulting as well. So like, if you wanted to hop on a consulting call and I can talk to you about social media, that's what I do.